Hi guys, welcome back to ASAP. So this is our second video for the series how to use keyboard shortcuts in Gmail. So first of all, the prerequisite that is needed for using the keyboard shortcut is enabling the keyboard shortcut option. So for that we have to click on our gear icon. After that we have to go to see all settings. Under the general tab we have to search for keyboard shortcuts. In the keyboard shortcuts we have to make sure that the keyboard shortcuts on option is enabled. We have to go down and click on save changes. So once we did that, we can just press shift plus question mark. For that, to see the keyboard shortcuts dialog, in here you can scroll up and down to see the keyboard shortcuts and its functionalities. So in today's video we are going to see about the functionality which is related to jumping and thread list selection. So let's suppose if I'm on the main window, which is the inbox one, and if I want to go to the state conversation, I have to press G plus S. So it directs me to the state conversation window. If I want to go to snooze conversation, I have to press G plus B. It redirects me to the snooze conversation. If I want to go to sent messages, I have to press G plus T. It is redirecting me to the sent messages. If I want to go to drafts, I have to press G plus T. Redirecting me to the graphs. If I want to go to all mails, I have to press G plus A. I am going to all mails, and if I want to go to inbox, I have to press G plus I. am going to in my inbox. If I want to go to task, I have to press G plus K. My task window opens here, and if I want to go to label, I have to press G plus L. My label window gets opened here. Next section that we are going to see is the thread list section. So if I want to select all the conversations, so for this I am going to press asterisk plus A. So here all my conversations got selected, and if I want to deselect all conversation, I have to press asterisk plus N. So all my conversations are deselected. If I want to just select read conversation, I have to press asterisk plus R. So it is just selecting the read conversation. Let's suppose if I want to select unread conversation, I have to press asterisk plus U. It will just select all the unread ones. And if I want to select the state conversation, so for that I can just press asterisk plus S. So it is just selecting the state conversation. And if I want to use unstate conversations, I have to press star plus T. So it is just selecting the unstart conversation. This is how we are using the keyboard shortcuts for Gmail functionality in jumping and thread list section. So now we are going to see keyboard shortcuts for Gmail for the actions functionality. So let's suppose if I want to move focus to the toolbar. So for that I am going to just press the keyboard shortcut, which is comma. So here, as you can see, focus moves to the toolbar, and if I press enter, I can use the toolbar in that pass. Let's suppose if I want to select any conversation, so as I'm going up and down, as we can see here, if I want to select any conversation here, I just can go to that conversation and press X, so that conversation gets selected there. And let's suppose if there is any conversation that I have selected, and if I want to toggle its star or rotate among superstar, so for that I can use S. So as we can see here, so if I press S, star is triggered, then other superstars are triggered here. So that is how it works. So let's suppose if I want to archive any certain email, for that I am going to use, or I am going to press on my keyboard. So for that I just have to select any conversation. So I'm just going to go up or down, and if I'm going to select this conversation, and if I'm going to press E, it is going to archive my conversation in here. Let's suppose if I want to mute any conversation, again for that we have to select any conversation. So I'm toggling up and down, and then after going to that conversation, I have to select that conversation, and I have to press M on my keyboard, so which mutes the conversation, as we can see here. Let's suppose if I want to mark any conversation, any email as spam, so for that I have to select that conversation. So let's suppose I'm just taking this conversation here, and for reporting as spam I have to press exclamation mark on my keyboard, which is shift plus 1. As I can see, the conversation is marked as spam. Let's suppose if I want to delete any conversation, again I have to select that conversation. So I'm just going to select first one, and if I want to delete that, I have to press hash. So on my keyboard, shift plus 3, I'm going to press the hash, and it, as you can see, it is showing me conversation moved to trash. Let's suppose if I want to reply to any conversation, so we would be going inside one conversation here, and if I want to reply in this conversation, I just have to press on my keyboard R and the reply window opens, and here I can reply to that conversation. And let's suppose if I want to reply in a new window, so what I can do here, I can just press Shift plus R, so a new window open where I can reply to that conversation in here. Let's suppose again if you want to reply all in a new window, so for that again I have to go inside that and I have to just press Shift plus A. Here it is going to reply to all the people present in that conversation. And let's suppose if I want to forward a conversation, so again I am going to go inside that conversation here. Let's suppose this is our conversation, and to forward that conversation I am going to press F on my keyboard. So this open a forward window and I have to just type the email of the recipient. Let's suppose if I want to forward in a new window in here, so for that I have to press Shift plus F and a new window open where I have to enter the mail of the recipient and all the things get forwarded to that email. Let's suppose I have done any action, so I'm just going to select any conversation here and I'm just going to archive that conversation. And if I want to undo that last action, I just have to press Z on my keyboard as it says action undone. So whatever, if you want to undo any last action, we just have to press Z on our keyboard. So let's suppose I'm going to select any mail here. It got selected. If I want to mark it as unread, I have to press Shift plus U. It gets mark conversation mark as unread, and if I want to mark it as read, I have to press Shift plus I. As you can see, conversation mark as read. So that is how we can mark as read and unread in a conversation. So if I'm going to select any conversation here, so let's suppose this is my conversation, and if I want to mark it as important, I have to use plus. As you can see, conversation mark as important, and if I want to mark as not important, I have to use minus or hyphen. So let's suppose if I'm using minus or hyphen, conversation mark as not important in here. So let's suppose if I want to snooze any email, so for that I have to go inside that mail basically. Then for that I'm going to just press the keyboard shortcut which was B. In here it can show the snooze window, and as we saw in the earlier videos, from here if we pick the date and time, and if we want to customize the date and time, so we can thereby snooze the email. If I want to collapse the entire conversation, or if I want to expand the entire conversation, so right now I would be expanding the entire conversation here, as you can see. So for expanding the entire conversation, I have to press semicolon. All the conversation gets expanded here, and if I want to collapse the conversation, I have to press colon. All the conversation get collapsed here. So if I want to add the certain conversation to the task, so let's suppose this is my conversation, and if I want to add it to the task, I have to press Shift and T. So these conversations get added into the task window. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do share, like and subscribe to our channel. See you in next video.